what is going on? Somebody's doing something in the background. I'm going to go ahead and bet it's T because it's typically how it goes. You probably have zero clue that we're live right now. But what a thrilling week of college basketball. T, can you hear us right now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. We can also hear you. I just wanted to make sure you can hear us.
Don't let me start the show like that, T.
Hey.
Yeah. Yep.
T looking like Tiger Woods tonight. Don't be.
Yeah.
That's what Durando said too. Was Tiger Woods.
That's why I said the same thing. What's up, Tiger Woods? Unfortunately, I don't think he could hear me, or we couldn't hear him. But
hey, you have to name AB Toil as AB. Okay.
If I had Tiger Woods money, I'd take it.
Yeah, we all would.
I'm telling you. I hope my 50th birthday party looks like that.
He just turned 50?
Yeah, man. He had a huge party apparently the other day.
Well, like I said, wild week of college basketball. As people start trickling in, we kind of repost this thing. Big news in college basketball dropped today. Selena, I know you read through the article you sent it to us with this gambling scandal that's going down. Shaving points and
yes. Okay.
So I know, and I think Hammer probably has a good sense of what's going on. So walk through the kind of what's going on with this and where you think it's going to go, and does it have any long-term effect on gambling, which is kind of taking over the sporting world?
Yeah, I'm fearful because this has already happened in some states. At the depth that this looks like this goes, we may see books pull college betting off completely. At least temporarily, if not completely. Mm-hmm. It's gotten completely out of hand, and there's some serious money here. And
I mean, it was $500,000 bets. Like, it was insane. Right, and that's not even on big games either, which is the wild part. It's money. Not like.
Well, and those typically are the ones. That's the ones you can get because they're not paying as close attention to those games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the handle's smaller. So unless somebody's literally just sitting there auditing bets as they come in, it's kind of flying under the radar. So either somebody blew a whistle or the sportbook's algorithm and stuff for detecting potential fraudulent bets is getting better and better, and they picked up on it. I don't know. We may never know, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, we've already seen some states pull college player props off of their books because of stuff like this.
And someone was asking for them to do it today too. Someone was like, "Hey, we need to pull these off of here like ASAP."
Huge impact on betting, especially. But this is going to be some go directly to jail, do not pass go, do not collect $200 stuff. This is serious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw something today actually. Games? Yeah, 20. I think like 20 or 7. It was like 17 schools and upwards of like 60 players and individuals. And there was actually one of the school that I went to college at Coppin State was involved in it. And actually, one of my buddies sent me a tweet today that was from one of the defendants in the case, one of the players, and it was a text message he got at halftime. Basically, a dude like cussing him out, saying, "What are you doing? You're playing too well. You're supposed to be getting blown out. You're losing us money. Like you need to go get blown out in the second half, or else." Basically, and it's just wild, man. Like, I mean, like shady stuff like that happens, but obviously this goes deep.
Yeah, this is like old 60s, 70s Vegas mobster stuff, man. This isn't 2025, 2026. Yeah. We shouldn't be seeing stuff like this, but the gambling industry has gotten so big, and we're even seeing leagues partner with sport books. Like we've got the Caesars Superdome, right? Mm-hmm. Caesars Entertainment, Caesars Casino. Let's just call it what it is.
Yep.
Sponsors an NFL stadium.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL has an official betting partner with DraftKings.
Yep.
What do you think's going to happen?
Yeah.
So it's crazy that stuff like this is happening in this day and age.
Mm-hmm. Just because it's money that's obviously easy to fix, right? You can obviously easily fix stuff and then make a lot of money very, very quickly.
Yeah, and basketball is the easiest one to fix.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can shave points in basketball much easier than you can probably any other sport.
Yeah, throw up some bricks. That's all you got to do.
That's it.
Couple bad passes here and there,
Well, and of course, people have gone back and started looking at old clips of games of players and schools that were indicted or alleged in this thing. And again, in the moment, I don't think you think you're watching bad basketball, and then you're like, oh, that's clearly just the dude throwing the ball out of bounds. And some of them, it's like, betting on first half spreads and whatnot, and then you see, they can, they're playing better in the second half, and that's where you're like, okay, it's another clear example of how this thing is rigged. I also don't think these kids really know what they're getting themselves into. When I saw the money they were being offered, like 10 to 30K, I don't want to, sound ignorant, but yes, that's a lot of money, and especially I guess for these lower level schools, it's a lot of money. But I would imagine even, the Tulanes and some of the bigger schools that were, mentioned, DePaul, these guys probably making a decent amount on NIL. So you would think that's like pennies to chase after. But if you got money, you want more money. And I just don't think they realize that they take this money. And if they have a second thought about or it come to Jesus of like, man, I shouldn't be doing this, you ain't getting out of it. Like you said, Hammer, these are like mobsters. Like they're going to come for you, man. Like you don't mess with their money. So then all of a sudden it's like a fear factor comes in. And it's like, okay, I truly cannot mess around with this. But it's
prop bets are the easiest. That's the easiest thing to shave, right? Because all they have to do is, the knee's kind of tight, coach. I need to sit. So they sit for a while, or they start getting, just sometimes you just get de facto rebounds, right? Sometimes the ball just finds you.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So they'll start, it's so easy to do. And there's been so many times that people have referenced that and say, man, how in the world did you have, 12 rebounds in the first half and won the rest of the game? Or how'd you have 20 points in the first half and score 2 the second half? Like, there's all kinds of things that pop up that make people already think that the fix is in as it is. And then you get stories like this, and you get stories like we had earlier in the year with the NBA. I mean, it's completely undermining the integrity of the game.
Yeah.
Completely undermining.
It's just going to be like to the point where people aren't going to trust that their team actually won or lost, right? Like they're not everything's going to be questioned because you have, and here's the problem. I know it's the smaller schools, but it's happening at other schools too. They're much larger. Like,
yes. This is just what we found out. They just
haven't found it yet, or they've not been able to prove it yet. Like it has the ability to completely unravel college basketball, even worse than it already is, right? Like, so we're going to have the transfer portal issues and NIL issues. Like this can be way, way worse. Like, oh my God.
And this affects the sport books and casinos, two ways, because one, obviously they get cheated out of their money, but two, you got, and I won't include T in this because he's the only sanctified one of the bunch here, but the rest of us degenerates. How in the hell can I go honestly put down a bet knowing that we've got all this point shaving and scandal and cheating and everything else going on out there? How can I, in good conscience, go put American money on a bet that I don't even know is straight up or not?
You can't. So you have no idea.
They're going to lose what they got cheated out of, and they're going to lose out on people being scared to place bets because they don't know if they're getting a fair shake.
Right.
Yeah, and the majority of people that are going to be betting are the ones that are doing the shady stuff. It's like
exactly. They're the only ones in this that are going to actually make any money.
Yeah, yeah, and it stinks because gambling is such a it's for so long. Like you said, it was underground and it was this illegal thing that everybody was didn't really understand or scared of, unless you kind of lived in that criminal world. And then it became like a fun part of the game. You could become interested in it. I didn't care at all about baseball, but when gambling first came out, I was reading up on it and realized how much you could make in first 5 bets, right? Starting pitchers, first 5 innings, you can make a good amount of money there. So now all of a sudden I'm watching baseball and I'm putting parlays together. I have no idea who this guy is, but he's got a 1-point-something ERA and he's starting against a dude who's got like a 5. So I'm going to put money on this dude and see if he can cash it today. It's like it makes stuff interesting, especially in games that you do care about. We had the group chat going. I will not gamble on Kentucky basketball, and I think I'm going to go ahead and put off Kentucky football as well. But in sports that I enjoy, like football and basketball, like the college football playoff, it's fun to put bets on that, or it's fun to in the playoffs to put on prop bets on like Prize Picks because it keeps the game interesting, But like you said, you can't do it when you sit there and be like, man, I have no idea what's really going on behind the scenes. Yeah,
and the other problem, not problem, but the other kind of thing that's different now than, it used to be back in the old days is this right here.
Yeah.
Sports betting is illegal in the state of Alabama, okay? Yeah, for everybody that doesn't know, yes, I live in the state of Alabama. You know how many bets I can place sitting here right now, y'all, on this phone that I'm not supposed to bet in Alabama?
Yeah.
I can bet anything I want to going on right now. I can bet table tennis. I can bet Australian rules football. I can bet Chinese basketball. I can bet Korean baseball.
Cricket. You can bet on cricket. I don't even know how the sport works, but you can bet
on here. I can bet anything. I can bet midget mud wrestling if somebody will put odds on it. It's so easy to do, right?
Yeah.
And you think $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. I mean, for a small school, FCS, mid-major, D2, whatever, that's a lot of money to those guys. That money is pocket lint compared to what these dudes are making, right? So it's no big deal. So it's just too easy. The whole thing, Rando, is just too easy to do. And I don't know what you do other than pull the game. I don't know.
I do think the thing you showed, the fact that all of sports books are digital at the moment, it does make it to where these companies can help, federal agencies track it, right? So I do think the fact that these things are going through banks and there's a name attached to it. Now, there's obviously ways to get around it. I mean, shoot, I can have an Uber account and, employ like 10 people without driver's license and let them drive for me, right? So there's ways to get around the thing. But I do think it makes it a little bit more difficult, and you can track these bets. And that's probably how this stuff was able to come to light of like, hey, a name's tied to it, a lot of money around this, around this school that you wouldn't think a lot of people are betting on. Plus the names that are tied to it at the, the head pins of this thing are like career criminals. Like, so, they're already getting tracked for doing shady things. They're already, they already have the spotlight on them, by like the FBI and whatnot. So it being digital, I think makes it easier for tracking it. But yeah, it makes it 10x easier just to put those bets in it and get away with it.
Yep.
100%.
All right. Well, let's transition. We'll hold off to basketball last. Transition to transfer portal. We'll start.
Can I say one thing real quick before we do that?
Yeah, my bad, Hammer. Go ahead.
Screw the Dodgers. They just signed Kyle Tucker.
They got Kyle Tucker, man. I'm telling you, the rich get richer. Sheesh.
60 was that 60 M's a year?
I didn't see the number. I saw the headline, and I'm like, dudes. I mean, save some for the rest of us.
Yeah, that team
outfielder gets 4-year, $240 million deal.
That's stupid.
So that's 60 a year.
Yeah, and I mean that team, as if they weren't already good enough. It is absurd. If they do not win the World Series the next 2 years, they're between the rotation and the lineup, that's just unfair.
They're going to be the first team in the history of the game to be a odds-on betting favorite preseason. They're going to have minus odds. Yeah. And that doesn't happen in baseball, but they will.
Hammer, are you a baseball guy?
I am.
Okay, so I know AB's a baseball guy. That was his sport. So Steinbrenner's in the Yankees. That's how they had their run of World Series, because they just outpaid everybody, right? Had the best rosters. And now the Dodgers are doing the same. Now you have to pick the right players. You saw the Mets last season. They didn't pick the right players, and they paid a bunch of money, and they didn't even make the playoffs, right? I don't think they made the postseason, did they?
Yankees.
Or if they did,
I think they
if they
did.
did, they got knocked out early.
They did, yeah.
They
The
lost
Mets
early.
had 4 players on their team whose
Yeah.
salary equaled the entire payroll of the Atlanta Braves last year.
And they did not make the playoffs.
Not the Pirates, the
Yeah.
Braves.
The Braves, which is
So
not
that's my question.
chump
Do you
organization.
think they go to a salary cap at some point just to try to even the playing field, or is it like, hey, the old heads are like, you can't do it. It's baseball. It's just how it's been. Similar to you don't review strikes and balls, right? We don't want to use AI and be able to review these things, or cameras. It took forever to put challenges into the game. They finally did that, but they want to try to make it as pure as possible to like the OG baseball rules and how it came up as America's pastime. But do you think it needs to have a freaking salary cap just to kind of even this out, or is it like, hey, if the Dodgers want to pay the money, they pay the money?
Yeah, I don't know that a salary cap is something that's in the near future. I mean, and again, it's kind of like it was with the Yankees. Like, we've seen times where they had success and they had that run back in the Jeter days, and Pettit and Clemens and all those dudes, Mariano Rivera, but like there were also years where we were sitting here talking about them kind of the same way that we talk about the Dodgers right now, where it was a flop, right? And I mean, I don't necessarily know that you need it. It just it's so hard for the smaller market teams. Even if you were to put a salary cap on it, even the smaller market teams still aren't going to have the money to back a roster that is going to be competitive. Like, do I think it might even the playing field between the top tier teams? Maybe. But there's not enough money to go around, especially for like the Oakland or Las Vegas A's or whatever they are now, or the Reds. Yeah, good example there. So I don't know. I don't know that you necessarily need it. I think honestly the Dodgers have been good for baseball because people want to watch Ohtani. They want to watch that lineup. They want to watch runs get scored, and they want to watch history get made. Which I feel like with this roster, we're probably going to see some history get made. So,
yeah. I mean, as a non-baseball guy, it doesn't bother me. It's like, hey, exactly. It makes the sport more fun. If I'm watching a game, I don't want to see like Milwaukee, the Brewers type of, or the Seattle Mariners type of baseball, where it's like, hey, get on base and like slowly beat you down. I want to see dingers, long ball whacker dudes, right? That's what I want to see.
Bring back steroids.
Ohtani. Yeah, 100%. That was
bring
the
back
downfall
Mark McGuire,
of baseball.
Sammy Sosa days.
100%. I want to see Barry Bonds, 4X size head, just whacking the shit out of it.
Yeah.
But
wasn't Toronto, weren't the Blue Jays like the polar opposite of the Dodgers, like super cheap roster and all that? So I'm also not a baseball guy, but what does that, because I'm thinking about what Whiskey said here, that baseball is cooked, and I'm assuming what he's saying is that you got this team, that's so stacked and so dominant. It's like the Warriors when they had KD, right?
Yeah.
Like it was a foregone conclusion. But if you can pull a team, and Toronto played them tough.
Yeah.
My little brother convinced me to watch a game, and of course I watched the daggone game that goes into like 27 extra innings or something.
Yeah. Oh, that playoff game that went 15 innings. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But thank God we're on the West Coast for that one.
Yeah, but Toronto played them tough, right? So I guess my question, since you're the baseball, or you guys are the baseball guys, is there still hope for baseball, or is it the foregone conclusion with the KD Warriors that the Dodgers are going to win? And I don't even know who this dude is that they signed, but I guess he's good.
Yeah, well, kind of what AB was talking about, like, you put a salary cap in place. Go back, I want to say it was, and AB, you may remember this, it was 3 or 4 years ago, the Pirates spent on their roster for the season $44 million.
Yep.
So
their entire payroll for the season.
So next to nothing.
So they don't have the same financial resources, and they don't have basically a front office and an owner that's willing to put much more money into the team than that. That's why they have and I don't think they will with Skeens, but that's why every pitcher you've ever seen come up in the farm system for the Pirates gets shipped off to the Dodgers or the Yankees or the Mets or the Braves or wherever.
That's for the Reds too. The Reds get
Yes.
players and they get shipped off.
Yeah,
Like,
we're just waiting until Ellie De La Cruz gets traded, right? Because they don't want to pay those big contracts. So even if you put a salary cap in place, let's say it's $200 million. Well, the Pirates ain't going to spend $200 million. They're still going to spend
they still got to put the money up, and they're not going to do it. Yeah.
The salary cap is also,
it's just philosophies between teams. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, just look too. You talk about baseball's cooked. Well, just look. ESPN gave up the rights to Major League Baseball and pursued the NBA. They pursued the rights to the NBA. They gave up America's pastime to get the crappy product that is the NBA. That should tell you everything you need to know about the state of baseball right now.
Yeah. But I mean, to answer your question though, I mean, you're either it's exactly like it was when KD went to the Warriors. You're either a Warriors fan and you love the Warriors and you're going to watch because you want them to win, or you're everybody else and you're going to watch because you're praying that they lose.
You hate watching
because you want to be like, I told you so. And I think baseball more so than other sports, like your roster can be as good as you need it to be, but more so than any other sport, it is more often than not the team that gets hot at the right time, regardless of roster construction, that makes a deep run and ends up winning the World Series. So just because they got this team, like again, you're either going to watch because you want them to win, or you're going to watch because you want them to lose. And I think that is really what baseball's been missing for a while now, probably like the last decade. And that's why, in my opinion, I think right now it's still good for the sport.
Yeah, I mean, people love watching Goliath fall, right? Like watching someone conquer Goliath outside of the team that you root for is in general part of why people like sports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Yankees used to be the villain. Now it's the Dodgers.
Yep.
And to tell you the state of baseball, I think our viewers just dropped by like 45 as soon as we started talking about it.
All right, so we could transition off of that. Sorry, I can get on my soapbox all day. This ain't a baseball.
No, I'm just messing your balls. I didn't even look. I don't even know what to mess with you. But all right, transfer portal. I have not seen much on Tennessee. I'll let y'all talk to that. I know a dude that you had a receiver was coming in, flipped to Baylor. On the Kentucky front, though, it looks like we are going to pull in Nick Anderson, wide receiver at LSU, which is big. Big body guy. We need that wide receiver one. He is 6'4". He is 230 pounds, and he runs a 4.38 to like 4.40.
That's quick.
He's your stereotypical one. Like that's exactly what you want. Now I do believe he's coming off injury. He had a breakout season.
Stereotypical about that. That is abnormal. That's abnormal. That's Vernon Davis.
Metcalf 2.0 right there.
Yeah. Metcalf, AJ Brown. That's that body type. Now, like I said, he's coming off injury. He had a breakout season at Oklahoma in his first 2 years there. Then came to LSU. Sloan tried to recruit him out of high school. By the way, your boy's on a heater. All right. I got some information that said, hey, Sloan recruited this dude out of high school. He missed on him. He went to Oklahoma. He then recruited him again in the transfer portal, and he hit on him at LSU over TAMU. He's in the portal now. Kentucky, watch out. So I put it out there, and then sure enough, a day and a half later, bam, it seems like it's coming to fruition. So Sloan at least really likes this dude. There was an Oregon connection. I did some ties. He committed to Oregon in 2021 before he flipped to Oklahoma. Stein wasn't OC until late 2022. So I don't think Stein actually has a connection, but I think Sloan does, and Sloan really likes him. So hopefully he comes here. He is that wide receiver one we need him to be. He's healthy. He stays healthy because of him, the Millers, and those pieces there, especially at tight end. We can have some ballers at the pass catching position. Now you got to hope Minchie is a dude, right? And you got to hope the money we are paying in the trenches, which is a lot for some 4-star talent from big schools. Hopefully they can mesh together. But the offense is coming together. I would still like to see a running back come in, help with Baxter and Patterson. But on the offensive side, we're starting to get some playmakers, at least on paper. And Will Stein is old cooking in his path to hashtag feed the studs. But Selena, what do you think so far about the portal? It is starting to wind down a little bit.
It is. It's starting to wind down. Honestly, I am really excited to see how the O-line shapes up, because I feel like they've really hit that part really hard to protect the QB. And some big dudes, like the center from Baylor, that was a huge get, right? That was a big get for us. We got some OTs. I signed it. They're big. They're big boys, but they're SEC big, right? And there's a difference. Like if you're playing football, there's like normal O-line, then there's like SEC size, and I feel like we signed dudes that are SEC size. Because we play some very, very big boys in the SEC in the football.
Yeah,
so.
like we like Shyaz Pete. Like Shyaz Pete was a big body. He was a nice dude, super smart, like very charismatic. But he was coming from a smaller school, right? We're getting dudes, like you said, from Baylor, Ohio State, LSU. Like we're getting dudes who recruited to big schools. Now they obviously, Tennessee, like they weren't starters. Do you guys know much about the Tennessee O lineman that we got
signed?
Yeah, Lance Hurd was our starting left tackle.
I mean, I didn't really pay attention to your starting left tackle, but was he good? Did he keep Joe protected or like?
He was the guy that kept putting your right defensive end on his ass the whole game.
Perfect.
That's
perfect. Perfect.
Oh, we need him.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sounds like a good pickup.
If you can keep him out of the concession stands, he'll be
all right.
Oh, we have that problem already. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Well, the last guy you got from us, he getting hot dogs mid game. So as long as you can keep him out of there, I think you'll be okay with Hurd.
Hey, listen,
Hurd was good. Was he third team All SEC or something? He was good, but he left because he wanted to stay at left tackle, and our 5-star freshman that we brought in, who was starting at right tackle, is going to take his place.
Yeah.
So he's good, but he was demanding more money that we didn't think he was worth. So I think it's a good pickup for y'all.
It is.
Yeah.
We
are writing checks.
I don't know what he got as far as money goes. No, I don't know what that is.
I know a lot of that stuff's not high profile on, except for like quarterbacks, I guess. But
right, like quarterbacks and like some wide receivers, but like
wasn't he asking for like $3 or $4 million from us?
I was about to say I thought he was like at 2.5.
Yeah, he wanted. It's a very similar situation we had this time last year with a certain volleyball player. So it seems to be our MO.
I mean, 1.5 is so what they were saying, like on the animal and stuff, is it?
I think it was a little bit. I think it's more than that, but
he's getting all caught up in the whole blindside left tackle thing.
Yeah.
And what they were touching on, particularly some of our guys that have played in the league, they're like, it doesn't matter if you're a left tackle or a right tackle. Like, guys are throwing it 40-something times a game. Like, you're just as important on the right as a right tackle as you are a left tackle. Because what's his face that got all pro, who was our O lineman just last year? I'm having a brain fart, but he plays right tackle and he's getting paid. And then the guy from Oregon that plays for the Lions, who's like the best O lineman in the league, Penei Sewell. Yeah. He's a right tackle. So what I heard presented was that movie Blindside, about the Ole Miss guy, Michael Orr. Got dudes in real life so caught up on the whole left tackle thing and blindside thing. And so Lance Hurd just couldn't stomach.
Sandra Bullock. When she speaks, people listen.
She's persuasive.
She's persuasive.
But yeah, he just couldn't stomach moving from left tackle to right tackle. And he wanted more money. So
Darnell Wright, that's who T's talking about.
Thank you.
Yeah, for the Bears. And he is an absolute beast, like road grader beast. So I don't know. He's 100% right. I mean, if you can play football at that level at either tackle position, it doesn't matter, because guess what? When you get to the NFL, they may move you to guard anyway. So,
Which
You
is
got to be
all
versatile. Yeah.
that's all. And honestly, it's like colleges only recruit tackles, and they put you where they want you on the offensive line. I've seen it time and time again. All these guys were tackles in high school, and they get put in different places.
Yep.
NFL, it's a little bit more. You played tackle in college. We're drafting you as a tackle. You played guard. We're going to draft you as a guard. And sometimes that changes because you see guys move on the O line all kinds of different ways.
Yeah.
So he's really, he's hurting himself because you're not willing to learn another position. Like you can only play left tackle. I think it's stupid. And there you go, boom, right there.
I'm with you, Coach Ryan.
You're getting paid, and if I'm paying you, then you're going to go kick if that's what I tell you to do.
Yep.
So
yeah, 100%.
Kids these days, right?
Yep. So Kentucky transfer portal seems to be going well. We'll see what else Will Stein has up his sleeve. But now that he's in Lexington, it's we're starting to even build even more traction. We'll go to Louisville. Look like
what was UK's players right now? They're all of Morrow's people.
I'm telling you, it's been a mass exodus over there from y'all to us.
I think Will Stein is clearing house of the Stoops era to be fair, and Morrow was the lead recruiter. So if Morrow liked him, he got there. It does make some sense. It is again funny that Louisville fans are clowning us for taking our players after clowning us for beating us 41-0 with those players. So.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say
maybe it's the coach. Maybe it's the coach. But
I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say that the players that I'm excited about are the ones we pick up from y'all, but we do have a few of them anyway. To your point, I mean, if we can get DJ Waller to actually be on the field, he might do something. But
he's supposed to be very good. I didn't see it because he didn't get very many snaps, but he's supposed to be good.
Kids got a national championship, albeit he wasn't a starter for that team. But hey, he saw the field during that season. So I mean, obviously we got Keinholz, man. So that's big, and we'll see if he actually is the dude. We talked about the battle he had out there. Got a couple of good offensive line pickups. We got this dude Eric Doherty from BC. Who was, I think, the number 3 O lineman in the transfer portal. So take that. He only gave up a handful of pressures on a bunch of pass blocking snaps last year. And then we got a tight end out of Tulsa, of all places, who apparently had the second most touchdowns by a tight end, albeit playing the competition that Tulsa plays. I guess they're in East Carolina's. Does that sound right in their conference? But he was second on the team in receiving yards, and that's a solid pickup. And then the other one we got a lineman out of South Carolina, Carson Henry, 6'6", 310. That's a big bubba right there. You want to talk about SEC sized lineman? I'll take that all day, every day. And then really, honestly, the biggest thing is that we had a bunch of dudes kind of flip out of the transfer portal and say, "Wait, just kidding, I'm coming back," to include Isaac Brown. Which was big. Him, Antonio Watts came back. That was big for us. And then we had a handful of guys on the defensive end that tested the portal out and decided to come back. So, I mean, it's been busy. It's a lot of 4-star names, a couple of 3 stars thrown in there. So nobody outside of Keinholz that I would say is like a huge impact right away, maybe. But I do like we're shoring up the offensive line. And then I forget the kid's name. There was one receiver that we picked up out of Vandy, who I'm blanking. Oh, Trey Richardson. There it is. Who apparently now we're in the StatCast era of college football. Logged the most plays over 20 miles an hour in the country last year. So he's kind of a smaller dude. It's like 5'10", something like that, 175. But I mean, 1,200 all-purpose yards, can return kicks, can run the ball, can catch. So give you a flash guy on the offensive end to go with the other pieces we got. So I like how it's coming together.
Yeah. How do you feel about Isaac Brown returning? Because didn't he do this to you last year? He kind of flirted with the portal, wanted more money. Y'all brought him back, paid him more. Does the same thing this time. It seems like you probably offered him even more money. He's a hell of a running back, but at some point it's like, Tennessee just dealt with this last year. It's like, all right, man, like we paid you once. You signed a contract. We ain't doing this anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's the era we're in, right? Like,
Yeah.
It's kind of like having it is exactly like having a free agent, right? They're like, hey, I love the team I play for, but I want to go test the waters and see if I can get a bigger paycheck, go be the guy at a bigger school. Because I mean, like while we're on the come up, we're still not there yet, as we proved last season and the season before, to be at the top of the ACC and in a spot where we're competing for college football playoff spot. So
Yeah.
I don't necessarily blame kids for wanting to go see what's out there. Now, if he turns around and does it next year again, I think Brown might be like, all right, dude, see you later. You're not getting a pay raise, but dude, for the production you get out of that kid, man, like I'll take him back, especially after the season he's had the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think, and the other thing I saw from y'all's portal, Harley Gilmore committed and then flipped to Baylor.
Yep.
That's a big, I don't know, big miss, but that is I would say, significant miss. He is a dynamic wide receiver, very talented. We couldn't get him the ball enough, but the way he moves, it's just unorthodox. He's quick, he's shifty, he can play, on the outside. He can, the X, he can play the F, really all over the field. Him and a Brom offense would have been, with a decent quarterback, would have been, I think, a problem. But him flipping to Baylor, they probably offered him a significant amount of money to go there because of his talent. Baylor's been doing pretty well in the portal. It seems like they are flipping a bunch of talent and collecting that tech. I'm sure they got some Texas oil money as well to throw around.
To throw around down there, yeah. Dude, I think
Chip and Joanna Gaines probably paying a bunch of it too.
Oh my God.
Magnolia Farms making it rain.
Southern Baptist Convention money, so they loaded.
Yeah, the last thing I'll say is the one big, to your point though, Kyle, the one big thing that we're kind of missing is somebody to fill the spot of Chris Bell. I mean, that's a big body, athletic receiver, kind of like the dude that you're talking about that you guys are bringing in, where he causes matchup problems whether you're in the red zone or starting off at your own 1 yard line. Like, he's a good route runner, big body, good hands. So I'll be interested to see if we got anybody coming in that's going to be able to kind of fill that gap, because that's going to be a significant piece we're missing next year.
Yeah, all right. We'll close out for us from the Tennessee side. Anything from the portal? I think the biggest thing is where y'all going at quarterback. Are you comfortable with what's on the roster right now, or do you think you got to go get? I think there's some argument back and forth between Vols Twitter about a guy you guys are chasing, whether or not he is good enough to kind of step up to the big leagues. How do y'all feel about it?
Vols Twitter arguing. Never heard of it.
But yeah, what do y'all do at quarterback?
That's your answer. Like we've seen no game plan from the staff at all. Like
we're just like,
yeah, we don't. I don't think we have an answer because we don't know what we're doing. We can't read the tea leaves, none of that stuff. Like Heupel brought in 2 quarterbacks, and one of them he didn't even want because Bo Prabula or whatever his name is wanted to come to Tennessee, and we slow played him because we wanted to find out what was going to go on with Joey's case. And so dude was like, all right, I want to go to Tennessee, but fine, I want to play games. I'm going to Virginia. So,
oof, that stings.
Supposedly, the coaching staff's concern at the quarterback position is a 2 out of 10. I don't believe that because you don't offer Sam Levitt $6 million or $7 million if you didn't think you had a concern.
Yeah,
at quarterback. So I think, and I don't want to put words in Hammer's mouth, but I don't think we really have an answer for y'all because we can't tell what's going on. And there's been no semblance of a game plan to me. So I can't tell you what we're going to do at quarterback. What it looks like is that George McIntyre is going to end up starting. That's what it looks like. We'll see. I'd like to see a veteran in there. I don't even care if the veteran starts. I would just like to see a guy who's a junior or a senior who has watched starters prepare, lead, all that kind of stuff, because Faison Brandon is who all of us are all in on. He's the future, and it'd be nice to have somebody who could kind of show him the ropes.
What is going on with Aguilar right now? I haven't been following that. Is he?
He's waiting on a court case to see if he can get an extra year. He's trying to use the 2 years in JUCO because remember the ruling says your JUCO does not count against your eligibility now. So he's trying to say, well, then give me another year because I did 2 years in JUCO. So what he was hoping for on Monday, I don't remember all this legal jargon, but like a stay or something, like basically a not ruling. Because if he got the not ruling, then they would have to let him play. But whatever ended up happening didn't happen. I don't think the odds for Joey getting another year are very high. And what it seems like to me is that the coaches were going off the hope COA, and they were hoping that Joey was going to get another year.
Yeah,
I think it's very similar to like Chambliss right now, where the state is trying to fight for him because it's really the NCAA and their rules and how each state goes about NIL a little bit different. It's they like you said, see, I don't know all the legal jargon, but it's the Ole Miss founder of their NIL collective. I was reading up on Chambliss today, is a lawyer, like a state attorney or something. So he's the one fighting to like get him to have this extra year of eligibility. After the NCAA, denied him and whatnot. So I think the similar thing in the state of Tennessee is going on.
Well, Chambliss is based off of medical. He's trying to base it off a medical thing. Joey is trying to base it off of my JUCO year does not count against my eligibility. So
Chambliss came up though from the lower to higher.
D2. He was D2.
But D2 is still NCAA, right?
Yeah,
junior college. Is not NCAA. So what Chambliss is trying to argue is that I don't remember what it was, but like something was wrong with my eye and I only got to play X amount of games. That shouldn't count as don't take away my eligibility for that. Yeah. Joey is trying to say I was in JCAA. That doesn't count against my NCAA eligibility. So they're two kind of separate things. Joey only got to play last season because of Diego Pavia's lawsuit, and they made a ruling that covered like all players, so that got Joey an extra year. So to me, there's kind of a basis for him to get another year. I would think like if you got one for your JUCO year, you should get one for your second JUCO year. But that's what he's trying to fight, and I don't think it's likely that he gets it. Although that would be ideal.
Whiskey asked me to bring up Carr. Yeah, so he's coming on a visit, I believe. Southern Utah prospect. Was a all-around athlete in high school. I saw he said he averaged like 700 yards. 6'2", athletic. We'll see what I think he could be a great, like you said, potential. And at the he's got 2 years eligibility left, so someone that can come in there and learn the offense and maybe be decent next year. If he's a dynamic athlete, be able to get the ball to him in space, maybe return kicks, something like that. Find ways to get him the ball. He does got a decent frame at 6'2", and he is quick. So we'll see. I honestly though have not done. I really got into the Nick Anderson film and looking at him and what he did at Oklahoma. Haven't really looked at Carr, but Selena knows if it's a receiver coming to Kentucky, I'm gonna get into it.
The deep dive is coming. Do not worry.
Yeah.
Do not worry.
That's what I enjoy doing. All right, but yeah, all right, so that'll close out transfer portal. Let's get into basketball. I want to make sure everybody saw this. There's a certain team there that took an L, and Louisville didn't have they had the card, so I couldn't put the L down there. But the Cardinals flying upside down. Do you want to talk about your shitty basketball team, or do you just want to move on?
It's like I texted you all in the group chat. I am now a believer after watching the last 5-6 games that we are an NIT team unless we get Michael Brown Jr. back. It has gotten to that point. And I mean, I was blowing up
point guard
Hammers. No, he's done. They shut him down. Yeah.
Really?
Yep. Pat Kelsey said, nope. He's red. I guess you can come from the G League and red shirt. So that's what's happening. I don't even know. But yeah, he is not going to play for us this season. I guess that was the game plan to start with, and then they activated him because both Conwell and Michael Brown were out, not this past game, but the game before. But I mean, dude, it just, yeah, I've been sitting up here screaming about the same thing, and I'm looking at the same stat lines that I keep looking at, 10 for 38 from three. Just like what, and it wouldn't bother me so much if we were taking good shots, but I don't know how much of that game you caught, Kyle, but there were a couple times where we both reacted the same way. It just, the shot selection is so bad. It's so bad. I mean, we are literally just not moving for the first 20 seconds of the shot clock. And then you got Conwell or McNeely coming off some absolutely terrible ball handoff screen, jacking up a 3-pointer from 35 feet out and calling it a day. The only person that seems to be willing to drive the ball, who actually had a poor game by the standards that I've seen for him, is Adrian Woolley, and he went 1 for 9. So that's obviously not going to help you. But I mean, and then Conwell came on after the game and he's like, I got to play better. I got to do this. I got to do that. And I'm like, yeah, man, you are not right now. You are the point guard. You are not the 2 guard. The offense is running through you until Michael comes back, which means I don't need you to come down, play ISO ball, and then jack up 3-pointers every time. And there were a couple times where, we got down early. Virginia came out. They shot well to start the game, got down 14-0. I'm like, all right, the college basketball, more so even than the NBA, is a game of runs. So, you're going to have your opportunities to work your way back in. And every time we would claw back in, get a couple of stops, it was the same thing. We stopped running the offense, start doing the same thing, throwing up bad shots. We get a steal. Conwell's like, oh, it'd be a great idea rather than running the half-court offense would be for me to push this ball into a 4-on-1 scenario and then throw it up off the shot clock.
Hey, you miss all the shots you don't take, my friend.
It's just like there is nobody steering the ship right now. And that's where we obviously miss Michael Brown Jr. And to your point where you missed, Lowe being healthy and being able to run the offense. And there's been zero adjustment. And nobody has stepped up to be like, I'm going to be the one to run through. And now we're talking about back spasms. I don't even know what's wrong with the kid. Like, I don't want to disparage, an 18, 19-year-old kid. I don't know what's wrong with him. Obviously, it's something that has kept him out, and they feel as though he can't play. So if that's what they're saying, that's what they're saying. But all I know is we're not going anywhere if he doesn't come back because they haven't shown me an ability to adjust.
I'm not even touching that because who knows what JQ can do. I think that, we had the same thing. JQ, ACL, Kentucky season not going like he thought it was. He sat down. Now, I believe that, again, I don't believe that Mikel is just faking an injury.
No,
but,
I don't either.
At some point, it's like he probably could play. Like if he was a dude who needed to play to get in the draft, he probably would play. But we already know he's going to be a lottery pick. He's done enough. Same with JQ. So it's like does he want to come back? You never know what his group his team is telling him. And if these contracts aren't incentive based, where it's like you got to play so many games, he's getting his paycheck cut anyways. And then there's also the thing like Cal used to say, don't trip over, nickels getting to millions. So like he's like, you might have gotten a 1.5 million NIL deal this year, but your 5th round or your 5th overall pick is gonna be worth this. So like let's not even play with that.
And I'm sure he's got people in his ear, saying like, hey man, if you're not healthy, don't go. And there's this, like my pops always used to tell me growing up, there's a difference between being hurt and being injured, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Injured, you're like, we ain't doing this. Hurt, you're a little banged up, dinged up, but in the area that we're in now, as long as one and done is the thing in college basketball, this is where we're at. So especially with NIL. But I'm resigned. I'm disappointed. It sucks. But I'm also realistic. So that's where we're at.
Yeah, and in the group chat, all Louisville hate aside, it's tough, and I don't know what Louisville fans feel about PK right now, but we're seeing the same thing with Pope. who he had a way he wanted to run this offense. J. Lo gets hurt. Some players aren't playing up to the level we thought they were going to play.
Yep.
My neighbors are hollering right now. But then you're not unable to adjust, right? You expect a coach to be able to adjust, and he's not able to. So you want to give him some grace, but Kentucky might be a little more irrational, but Louisville's right there behind them when it comes to basketball. Like they're going to be calling for his head real quick. I saw some face side by sides of Kenny Payne and PK. Like that seems like a drastic jump, but they are starting to get loud up there. And you got to see what you can do. Like you said, you got to adjust, and you got to have players like Conwell not just play hero ball and actually like play for the team instead of for himself.
Yep.
But not to worry. Kason Pryor is getting healthy from his injury, and he'll come save the day for you.
Listen, I can't stand that guy.
Machine Gun Kelly Jr. sucks. All right, that dude is absolute trash.
Him.
No, he thinks he's Birdman. Remember old boy from the Heat? I think he played for a bunch of teams, but
Birdman.
Birdman was great. Yeah, that's who he wants to be. Unfortunately, he still had to come out of his shell.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's. We're coming up on an hour. I think let's try to not keep this thing to an hour in like 20 minutes since we're doing the watch long. We'll be on. We'll be on quick. I'll pull the Tennessee fans down. Y'all had a 2 overtime thriller, ugly game for Tennessee, losing most of it. But when it mattered most, you rallied. Amit had some big shots in the second half. And then really, was it Boswell that seemed to take over and got the turnover and off the missed free throw and really kind of changed the last few seconds of that game around?
Yeah, thriller. T and I weren't too thrilled with it.
Yeah. It was a game that was weird. When I got home and turned it on, Jay was like, Louisville and Tennessee are going to lose. That's good, right? I was like, Louisville losing, good, yes. Tennessee, let's hope they win. I really don't want to play a Rick Barnes team coming off a loss when we have also a short week. So we were hoping you were going to win. You ended up pulling out. But what did you see from the game against Texas A&M? I think they're a decent squad. You're at home. I'm not sure what the spread was, but you probably figured it was going to be a little bit easier win than that. Offense was stagnant. I guess we'll transition from here to our Saturday preview. But what did you see from the game from a Tennessee fan perspective that you're like, hey, if we really want to be a good team in the future, we got to change?
Well, I just hope we get into the NIT over Louisville. That's all I can from the game Tuesday night.
Oh, man.
Battle of the mids in this podcast, y'all. Battle of the mids.
God, how did we get here?
Go ahead, Hammer.
You can just put anything that T and I have said about what are some issues with this team on repeat and hit play. Nothing's changing. We're turning the ball over. We've got 3-to-1 ratio turnovers to assists. Amit had a great game against Florida and we wasted it. And then he was okay up until overtime. And then he kind of grew up in the moment, I think, with overtime because Gillespie fouled out and it was on his shoulders. And, AB mentioned that, Louisville plays with runs. Well, we played with runs. Most of them were down both legs for the majority of that game. Finally, toward the end of the game, they fought and they clawed, and A&M missed enough shots to keep us in it. And then somehow we reached down and found a little fortitude at the end of the game to pull that out. But that's not sustainable. Jacoby Gillespie playing 48 minutes is not sustainable. I mean, this kid is playing 50 minutes in a 40-minute game every single game. And that's not going to – we can't do that. We don't have anybody at the 2. We're not consistent at any other position on the floor. And not to get too far ahead, Rando, but we should be able to play a little bit of bully ball against y'all in the paint. Our court should be able to kind of dictate what happens, in the post. We can't consistently do that. The only thing we can consistently do is turn the damn ball over. We can't hit free throws. We were 0 for God only knows how many on three until we finally took the lid off the basket. I said this on my show earlier that the team that's going to win this game is the team that don't shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
It's who makes the least mistakes. Because I'm sorry, we're all friends here, and I'm being real. We're both terrible right now. So it's going to be the team that doesn't smash themselves in the face with a shovel is going to end up winning the game. And I don't know. I can't tell you sitting here right now who that's going to be because there are many things that are troubling.
We'll take turns, Hammer.
We'll have to. We'll just hit each other.
We'll just take turns.
Last man standing. But there's just so many things that are not typical of a Rick Barnes team, and I don't know how you fix it in season at this point because don't look now, but the season's half over. And we're starting to get to a point where we have to start talking about seeding and postseason and conference tournaments and things like that. And we're not in that conversation yet. Yeah. So it's very frustrating. I'll shut up. T, you take over before I say something ugly or about Danny White
and the entertainment district. Hammer hit the nail on the head. Not one. This is the second game in a row that I can remember. Not one player had a positive assist to turnover ratio. A couple people had a 1-to-1, but nobody has a positive. That's an issue. Right? We absolutely dominated TAMU on the boards. It was like 35-60, and it still took double overtime to win. And we shot 25% from three. We upped our free throw percentage to 74, which is also why we were able to sneak by. But shooting 37% from the floor, 25% from three, and a negative assist to turnover ratio. I mean that has been the story for us. Like Amber said, just put it on repeat all year. Don't shoot well enough, and don't take care of the ball well enough. I like what we do defensively. Again, we don't have the defensive talent that we're used to having, just the on-ball skill that Zakai and Meshack and Yves Pons and all these guys have had. But the rotations are looking tighter to me. The effort is always there. I don't think we got the offensive skill. Gillespie played 48 minutes. He was smoked. It was the perfect time for Nate Mint to step up. You could tell Gillespie just didn't have anything left in the tank. So that was good complimentary basketball. I like that we potentially have two people who can score now. Potentially, I'd like to see it a little more from Nate before I'm convinced. But it was good to see. But even then, two guys can have an off game, and we don't have anybody who can step in. Like last year, if Chaz and Zakai had an off game, guess what? We still had Jordan Gainey.
Yep.
We don't have. I mean, I guess we kind of do the hint. You just don't know who it's going to be. I guess you don't have a particular third guy to lean on. Like one game it's going to be Evans, one game it's going to be Abram, one game it's going to be Henderson, like it was this previous game. So I maintain I just don't think that we got the horses that we need offensively on the wing.
Yeah, from a defensive perspective, Tennessee's number 11 in the Ken Palm in defensive rating. So defense isn't the issue. This is still a Rick Barnes signature type defense, even though, it looks like they're not, but they really are because Texas A&M was coming in averaging about 93 points a game, second highest in the SEC, and Tennessee held them to the 60s in regulation. So defensively, it's no problem. It's just we are very generous. We're a nonprofit organization when we have the basketball in our hands.
Well, we're cooked then. We can't score us ever alive. So there you go.
Yeah. So, this game may not see 100 points if
combined.
Yeah. It's gonna be rough. And so we'll transition into our game. Selena, we go down to LSU. I put out a tweet that was like, listen, they don't have their best scorer, their best player, Deedon Thompson. He was out.
Just call him Deedon.
Yeah, old D was out, and I was like, and to prove that we are the team that we saw in the second half of Mississippi State, we need to not only cover the 4.5, but we need to like smash the cover. And we went and scored 3 points in like the first 12 minutes of the basketball game. I'll say again, we had 3 points in the first 12 minutes of the basketball game. Now, luckily, we held them to 16 points, I believe it was 16 or 18. But then I think we went to the under. We had 6 points essentially with like 4 minutes left to go in the game, and we found ourselves in it.
Yeah, in the first 8 minutes, we had 6. We did not have a field goal, and none of the 6 points was an actual field goal. It took us, I think, like 16 minutes or something like that to score a field goal, which is. I don't know. I don't know how. I don't have the words to describe how bad that is for a college basketball team, but it's bad.
Thank you. Yeah. So we find ourselves in a horrible spot on the road. Offense looks inept. Denzel Aberdeen can't play the point guard position. JJ comes in. Jasper Johnson comes in. He actually, I think, runs it well. He runs it with pace. Unfortunately, he got Colin Chandler a couple open shots in the first half. He missed them. He tried to do it on his own. LSU super long. Everybody on their team is like 6'9" really or over outside of that point guard. He couldn't finish. He didn't see a minute in the second half. But then we come into the second half. We instantly go down 18 and then start going on a run. Hammer started, talk about a lid on the rim for them. We went 5 of 7, I think, in the first 10 minutes of the second half from 3, something like that. Colin Chandler hit a couple big ones. Zell hit a couple big ones. Cam hit a couple big ones. And then Owe, he is finding his shot from deep. He can hit that wing / corner 3 when he's open pretty consistently. But he even had one in the wing where he jab stepped twice and pull up in a guy's face. And even with his kind of awkward release, was able to get it up and hit that shot. The way the game ended will be one that we remember forever, mostly because it was a Kentucky boy who hits the shot. We're out here in the garage. Otega Owe misses that free throw. These SEC refs got to figure it out. How that wasn't a shot made before the
ball was out of his hands. Clearly.
I was so confused by that.
It doesn't make sense to me. And even in y'all's game, and again, I wanted y'all to win, but the play that went out of bounds, that looked like it clearly went to me. That looked like it went off Tennessee. Now they went with it wasn't indisputable, and I'm good with that. 100% good with that. If there's not enough to look at, you can't see it in the first 60 seconds. Don't change the call. 100% cool with that. But if you call the bucket good and then say, oh, wait, hold on, I got to look at it. If it's not definitive, it's same with the Auburn loss. It wasn't definitive, in my opinion. You got to count the bucket. So, we got to be consistent. SC officiating sucking is nothing new, though. So, let's just move on from there. Otega Owe misses the free throw, and we foul with 1.7, 1.9 seconds like that, something like that left. And oh boy misses both free throws. And Jackson is sitting here in the garage. He's got all the faith we could do it. I said, buddy, I have watched this team run this same play many times. Every single time the ball gets thrown long, and it's not going to work.
It never goes our way.
Never works.
Never goes our way. We get shots made against us all the time. But we never make.
And then next thing you know, Colin Chandler turns into Mormon Will Levis and hucks this thing. Malachi Moreno, who I have screamed at over and over. What?
The Mormon Will Levis.
Mormon Will Levis.
Mormon Will Levis?
Yes. Hey, he's 10-2 Will Levis slinging it for Kentucky.
Oh, my goodness.
What do you want me to? All right. Mormon Tim Couch. What do you want me to do? You want me to go all the way back in time? Mormon Tim Couch slinging that thing. And Malachi Moreno, who I have screamed at.
Christian Leitner. Go ahead and say it.
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it.
I mean, that was the same kind of play, though, to be fair.
It was similar. It was very similar. but I have hollered, and I put it in the group chat. I've said it to Selena on shows. It's been on the Rando recap. I wanted somebody to put a basketball-size jugs machine and like huck it at Malachi, because as big as he is, and he's got these massive hands, the dude can't catch. He fumbles the ball around the rim. They try to get him some passes. He just can't. Somehow you got Moss, brings this thing down, turns around, squares his shoulder, and hits the J and wins the shot. I
don't know how else you guys didn't
poetic.
Freaking catch it.
I don't know. I mean, legit, he just snatched it over him. Like he just wanted it more.
Like when you watch the replay, like the ball was again. I don't know. Oh no.
1,000%, James. Thank you for clearing that up for us. Jesus Christ.
Y'all hating on Will, man. He's just y'all looking at his Tennessee Titan film, and he did, he did all right.
Any of it. What are you talking about?
He just hangs his hat on the fact that they beat us. We're getting off topic.
No, so I mean, obviously, yes, we won the game. I have you won the game, but that first half cannot keep happening, because that is going to get us dog walk the next 5 games if we don't figure it out.
Not the next game. No.
Hammer, if we only scored 3 points in 8 minutes, we're getting dog walked by y'all too. Talking about we can't play defense either.
I see the same thing on the Spaceballs on the Spaceballs show with Jason Williams,
which was phenomenal, by the way. Great job, Rando.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But yeah, I was like, you aren't getting down 15, 16, 18 points to a Rick Barnes team on the road, in TBA, and coming back and winning that game. Ain't no way, because they're just too good defensively. We won't get the open shots we did. It's just, and then you saw when Pope went to the offensive model in the second half, we really got it close. And then at the end of the game, it was trading bucket for bucket. Like there was no actual stops going on. They either missed a shot or we missed a shot. There wasn't like true stops. Malachi had a couple, kept himself out of foul trouble, which I think is a big part of the story as well. 8 minutes of gameplay with 4 fouls, and he stayed in the game to make that shot.
That's big for a freshman. That's huge, to be fair. Like that's
big.
That's Nerlens Noel type of stuff right there. When he had those blocks and he had 4 fouls, right? Like he wasn't blocking, but he also wasn't fouling, which is huge. Because BG again. Listen, if Pope throws out one more time that BG is the best whatever analytically, I swear to God, because you watch that kid play and he's unplayable.
He's trash.
Like
trash.
He watches people run by him. He makes stupid passes. He never rebounds the ball. Like, Pope, I don't care what your numbers say. Use your eyeballs.
Yeah.
Because you can't play him. You can't.
Yeah.
Which sucks because he's so athletically, gifted athletically, that if he would just give effort, he would be so much better. But again, Pope, his numbers tell him otherwise. So here we go. Don't watch it again then, Dizzle. Thank you.
Yes, it's I don't know how you feel, Selena. I don't.
About what?
What gives me a somewhat hope for this team, and not necessarily for Saturday. Saturday will be what it is. I told y'all last show. I don't know how you can sit here. Anybody can actually give a reason why Kentucky or believe Kentucky can go to Knoxville right now to win a basketball game. I'll still stand by that. Now, obviously, by Saturday rolls around, I will have found a way.
You'll have found a way, Randy.
I can give it to you right now, because
send it.
I've seen it in 2006, sitting in that arena, that very arena, and Tennessee got up 21-7. Kentucky calls a timeout, and they couldn't throw it in the ocean standing in a boat that first 10 minutes. Kentucky calls timeout. They come back out, and it looks like the 92 Dream Team playing a scrimmage against a squad of midgets. And all y'all did was work the ball inside, kick out threes. Work the ball inside, kick out threes. You guys have the ability to come in there and shoot the lights out of the gym. That's what you did last year. Do you remember that game? Because I do.
Yeah, Kobe Ray ain't walking through the door, though.
I understand that.
I wish I could take him from Phoenix, but yeah.
I understand that, but you know as well as I do that you've got shooters on that team. And lo and behold, and T will validate this, whether it's football, basketball, whatever, we can take the most mediocre team, no offense to you guys, the most mediocre team And their most mediocre player, Brandon Garrison, could have 40 points and 20 rebounds in this game against us because that's what we do. We make everybody look so good against us.
Look,
and
if Brandon Garrison was 20 hammer, I will be acting a fool on the live stream. Okay,
well, there's something about that Gator logo on a helmet, and there's something about that ugly ass denim uniform that y'all bring in there that gets in our heads. So that's exactly how you can come in there and come back or beat us by double digits, is because that's just how it goes.
Yeah, and but the reverse can be said. We'll go ahead and I think we said enough about the game against LSU. We won, thank God. If we lose that game, even the way we came back, it's still Pope. Good Lord, he's.
Let me ask you a question about that, because I've been thinking about that. How does Kentucky approach Saturday? Like, how are they feeling? So if you leave LSU with an L, are you coming in all mad because you lost and all that? Yep. But now that you've left with a W, you either you're either riding momentum, or you got a little comfortable because you emerged with a W.
So here's the thing, and there's two separate. I'm going to break some things. So I don't know if this team gets pissed off by losing, right? Like I haven't seen them get mad by losing, because things haven't really changed from when they got their butts kicked earlier, right? Or they get down every single freaking first half. I don't think they get mad by this. Now, the fans would have been pissed off, absolutely. But the team itself, I don't think they care that much.
Are the fans really happy?
Yes, because
really?
the way yeah, well, that's true. That's a very good point. That's a very, very good point.
Are we ever? No.
There was a lot of rejoicing with the way. I mean, because the fan base was down and out. It was a very much. I mean, we've seen this song and dance before. Like, I would love to be a media guy and go to Pope and be like, listen, man, I'm pretty sure you know this, but just in case you don't have to go down 16, 18 points in the first half to win a basketball game. Like, I know you get, like, it's exciting, but, like, also I feel like I get run over by a truck in the first half and they bring me back to life in the second half. It's like, you don't have to do it. But
I wish I could show you my text thread to BB. I'm just going in. I'm like, oh my God, we're terrible. We suck. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Why are we playing this game? Then I was like, holy shit, we won the game.
Yeah. I was texting you guys like legit. I was like, I'm finding a light pole I could drive my truck into. Unfortunately, California traffic won't let me get fast enough to actually do any damage. So, but I was smiling when T asked that question, because I said the same thing on the Spaceballs. Like, you can tell me, like, I agree. The front court, Okpara and Carey scare me, especially with Gillespie running the pick and roll game with Okpara. There's going to be lobs open for days because we do not. I saw it, man. I saw it. I'm telling you,
Gillespie is terrible at throwing the lob. You're still remembering Zakai throw it.
I watched him throw 2 in the TAMU game that got you all some momentum.
Well, you probably missed. You missed out on him missing about 8 of them.
Maybe I know how terrible we are in the pick and roll, especially when it's a big, especially when Brandon Garrison's out there on the. I would love to prevent that, and because y'all can't shoot now, I'll end up putting my foot in my mouth because y'all start hitting some. I would like to see a lot of zone against Tennessee. Force you to the ball, no ball movement, and make you take deep threes. I would like to see it sprinkled in there, and I'd also like to see some press, because you guys are going to press us. I want to see some simulated press just to try to speed you up a little bit, because you have been turning the ball over a lot. But you can talk about Otega Owe, getting hot and being, preseason SEC Player of the Year potential at this moment. You can talk about Chandler, finding his shot. You can talk about Zell finding his shot and maybe be able to play point guard. You could talk about Andre, coming in there and giving us good minutes as a starter. You talk about Cam Williams, what he can do. And then you could go into Tennessee and what Boswell could do, and, how Carey can push us around like he did last year when he was at Vandy. I don't think any of that really matters. I think what it's going to come down to is y'all had a double overtime win at home against Texas A&M, right? You escaped with the win. Y'all feel good, but you had to play an extra half of basketball. You don't have to leave Knoxville, but you at least had to do that extra time. We were down and out, lost that game and then by miracle won it by coming back by 18 and then hitting a Hail Mary, unbelievable shot by Malachi Moreno. So who is going to be able to ride that momentum into this game and carry it? And who is going to be the one that crashes in the first half because they don't know how to, sustain that? And Selena's raising her hand because we unfortunately have seen Kentucky just not show up for first halves. Now, my hope is the 3 best games we played last year, 2 of them were against Tennessee and 1 of them was at home against Florida. So I don't know if it's something about, again, it's just the rivalry. It's Tennessee. And, Pope just – he himself gets up for that game, being a Kentucky kid himself, or playing for Kentucky, or if it was just that team last year. But like those were our 2 best games. Now we don't have a Butler, we don't have a Berea, we don't have Carr, we don't have Amari, we don't have these dudes. Even Jackson Robinson, the one that he had a great game on the road. So those dudes aren't showing up. But maybe we actually get a complete game. That's what gives me a slight bit of hope for this team. Because if you piece together second half of Mississippi State and second half of LSU, that's a good basketball team. I believe it in my heart. And that's not like my Kentucky fandom. I see good basketball from that second half. But I got to have 40-minute games because as we play you guys and Vandy and Arkansas and Florida and maybe Texas is actually legit, we are going to lose more of these games. So if we only can play 20 minutes of basketball of, even somewhat above average and meeting the roster that we thought we had when we beat Purdue in the exhibition game, we're going to lose a lot of games. But if we can string together 40 decent minutes of basketball, I do think this team can be competitive and get a couple quad 1 wins and be a 4 or 5 seed at this point in the tournament.
I mean, I don't disagree. It's just, and I would be remiss if I sat here and let you sunshine pump. You just got down and had to come back by 18 points to the worst team in the SEC.
I was going to say, we expended a lot of energy doing that too. Like that, we essentially played extra quarter with the effort that takes to do so.
And what is the mindset of the team? And I guess I am playing a little devil's advocate because I just told you how bad we suck. But the flip side, though, what's the bar in the locker room? Like for you guys, it's hang banner number 9 or burn the thing down. I understand. I mean, Mark Pope could walk on water and y'all would bitch because he didn't swim. What's the bar for the team in the locker room? Are they satisfied with just beating LSU on a miracle shot last second by 1 point, the worst team in the league? Or are they thinking, man, we played like crap. We've got to play better and they're going to work? Or is it what you said? Oh, well, we won, right? Because I promise you, Rick Barnes wasn't happy with a double overtime win against Texas A&M. Whether that translates into protecting the basketball better and shooting better and having better shot selection, like AB said, or those pick and roll and lobs and things that worked last year that aren't working this year start to work. Who knows? But I'm with you, Rando, as far as what's the mentality and the mindset of the team, because that's going to determine how they come out and play. Not the fact that they played a good 20 minutes of basketball one week and a good 20 minutes of basketball this week. They have to understand that there's an expectation from the fan base, from the program, and they're not meeting it. I can't imagine that they're meeting Pope's expectation, right?
Yeah. So, no, and I don't think Pope was happy with. I don't think he was happy with that. I think he was ecstatic that we won because it just would have. The pressure would have piled on.
You win the game, so you won.
Yeah. I think instead of it was more like relief and not necessarily like, okay, we're actually a good basketball team at this point. He was relieved.
Yeah, same for us. We were relieved that it was over.
He was going to cry though. Like Pope looked like he was near tears when they hugged him. We won the game.
And so did Moreno. I mean, Moreno looked like he was about to break down. And obviously, that's a massive shot for a Kentucky kid from Georgetown to get that shot. But and win a game.
That is like the perspective. What's the team's perspective? Was it we came out of there and we pulled off a win on the last second shot, or guys, we almost lost to the worst team in the league?
Well,
Selena, what do you think?
Different mindset.
So here's the problem: is this, like I said, this team. I don't they haven't shown that they care about those losses and playing bad. You know what I mean? Like they haven't shown that they care that much because nothing has changed. And I know lineups they don't control that or whatever, but they control their effort on the court, right? They can control 100%. Playing defense. Defense is all effort, right? They can control all of that. And they haven't shown that, especially in the first half, really at all this year. So I can't say they're mad about it and that they're going to change anything because what have they proven, right? It's like they kind of skate by and then they figure something out at halftime and then they're like, okay, now we get to go and play hard. We got smacked by 35 by Gonzaga as we played just like that the first half and we were not coming back, right? So last year's team, absolutely would have been pissed off. They would have changed things. Would have made this year's team. I can't say that they care enough to do so. I really can't.
Well, me and AB will save y'all a seat on the NIT bus. So
yep,
perfect.
See y'all there.
Listen, no, if we're looking at NIT, just go ahead and shut her down. Pope, go spend the offseason figuring it out. I don't even want to play another basketball game. But here,
I'll don't make the tournament. I don't think he's going to be your coach next year.
He will because we can't afford the buyout right now.
Yeah,
I don't know. Y'all could. I know you struggle with Stoops, but basketball's different. I bet y'all find some money. I bet y'all find
it depends if Mitch actually leaves in August or not. And by that time, August is kind of late in the year to be finding a new coach.
It's too early finding a new coach. What are we talking about?
Yeah. So I'll close on this. Here's my personal belief. I don't think it's a lack of care from losing. I don't think it's this team is just paid and it's like whatever. I think there might be a couple of players on the team. I flashed it up on the screen there. I think there's some pieces that aren't fitting like Pope thought they would. I don't think that it's hey, I got my check and I'm just going to ride this thing out. If it doesn't work, who cares? I think it's more of a confidence thing. The first time we really heard from Zell since the season started, he hasn't been playing well, was last night. And, he talked about it. And he was, very much praising his teammates, even though he had one of the best averages in the second half, praising his teammate. He kept pumping up Otega Oweh like, hey, the reason why I could get open is because of what Double O is doing. He pumped up Moreno and his ability to work the paint and get him open lanes to drive and he kind of really found his shot too. Zell getting some playing time. Some of these guys who weren't getting played, I think they're going to get revitalized and back into the season. I think it's more of a confidence thing of like it didn't work off the jump, and I don't think we were as resilient as we needed to be. I don't think we could take that gut punch, and we have some older guys we thought could do that. My hope is, and the last piece of this, I think there was a lot of, hey, don't worry, J-Lo and JQ are coming in. They're going to save us, right? JQ's our big guy in the paint, and J-Lo's our point guard. I think J-Lo being the team knowing he's done is actually going to help us in the long run because now it's, hey, Zell, you better figure out this point guard thing out. Like you better put all your effort into learning how to be a point guard in Mark Pope's offense. So if the LSU game was a confidence thing for Zell, if it was, an experience thing for Moreno playing through fouls and finishing like he did, if it was a Yelovich thing getting forced out there to play minutes, and if it was a Mark Pope thing, this is the biggest thing. If it's a Mark Pope thing, looking and identifying what, Kentucky fans, Tennessee fans, Louisville fans, we aren't basketball savants, but we know the game. Like we can see it out there. Like we don't know the plays. We don't know all these special terms, but we can watch basketball and say like, this doesn't make sense. Like Mo Diabata playing a 4 in in an offense where you have to stretch the floor out because he can't shoot the ball. It doesn't make any sense. You got to put Yelovich out there, or you got to put Mo at the 5, or play a 3-guard lineup like we're seeing it out there. We're seeing our bigs not even looking at the open side of the court when guys are cutting or flaring out for a 3. Like these are things you got to be able to coach. So I'm hoping it's both a confidence thing and it's a Mark Pope looking at this team and at some point figuring out who he can play. So that's where I believe the state of the team is. I don't think it's I'm cashing a check. I don't care if we lose. I think it's players just don't know how to play this new role. And maybe Zell having a big game is going to, open up his mind and let him understand what he needs to do to be successful. We shall see. I still don't know what this team's going to give us at Tennessee. If you force me to make a bet, I wouldn't pick Kentucky to win. But, we're going to see if LSU was either we barely won, we should be grateful we got that win, now let's actually go play good basketball, or it's hey, we got to win, let's kick back, and now we kind of have some games to play with, and we can go to Tennessee. No one expects us to win anyway, so if we lose, no big deal. Saturday's going to tell us a lot about this team, I think.
I would blind bet the under right now.
100%. 100%. What do you think the spread's going to be? I think it's going to be Tennessee anywhere between 4.5 and 6.5.
No way. 1.5, 2.5. It might even be a pick.
No, you think so?
Yep.
I don't think so.
And I bet you the total doesn't get. It may not see 140.
I wouldn't. No.
This might be 138 total. It may hit 140, 141, but it won't. That'll be it, and it probably won't sniff it. I don't see either one of these teams hitting 70 points.
If we get a 72-68 game, I think we're actually in. That's a lucky game right there for us. Yeah. All right, y'all. I appreciate it. Let's close down. We are going to do. Is everybody? We all good? Watch on Saturday. At least the Tennessee, Kentucky fans. Louisville fan going to be in there.
Nah, I'm taking the kids up to Great Wolf.
Oh, that's right. You're going to Great Wolf. You're going to Great Wolf. All right. Well, we'll do the blue and orange piece of the watch long Saturday, 9 a.m. tip for us West Coasters. But it should be a good time. I'm going to do my part. The shirt I wore in the watch along Saturday, the hat, the pants, the shoes haven't got washed. It's been hanging up still. I'm wearing the same junk. So I'm doing my part. Kentucky basketball, you need to be doing your part to go get us a win. Let me drop this in there again. Why is it nasty? I only wore it for the game. It's not nasty.
I just want to say that when T and I do a watch party, we are 1-0. So
yeah. Well, somebody's got to lose.
Or not. Yeah. That is correct. And I changed my drawers. All right. I mean, it's not a big
if
deal.
you didn't wash them, you just took them off and put something else on.
Yeah, flip them inside out. Hey, also remember, State Line Co. AllUKBall 25% off. They're coming out with some good things. They got the Tennessee dad hat out there too. They got the black and red polo, the orange and white polo. So they even have stuff for the Tennessee and Louisville fans. But what they're doing with Kentucky, saw some of their things and some DMs that they're doing. It's gonna be sweet. So get on it now. Look forward to seeing you all Saturday. As always, I appreciate the family coming on here. Border Rivals at Irish_Hammer_71 at T_Step_30. AB still sucks, doesn't have Twitter. AllUKBall and at KY_. Go follow us. Please reshare the video. Go to @HeavyPourSports on TikTok. Go to @HeavyPourSports on YouTube. Go to Hammer's YouTube channel as well. His show, Dropping the Hammer, has some great bets. He will make you some money. Again, I very much appreciate everybody coming on here. And as always, go Cats.
Hell's up, baby.